What's going on, everyone? Yes, today is another toy review, and yes, the man that stands in front of you is the one and only epic Kratos from the PlayStation franchise video games, God of War. Now, this will be considered, I believe, the 6th installment of Kratos out of all the games across the board. This will be my 3rd Neca figure. I don't really buy Neca too often, but I must say, when I see good ones, it's just an automatic grab. I will list where I picked up this figure down below in the description box, so I'll have that link for you as well. But let's jump into this review. So as always, look at a full 360 of good old Kratos and see what details have been added and been changed about good Kratos through the series of video games. So as you can see, Kratos is now going for the northern look, and for the most part, the scars, things like that of that nature is actually still there from the original game. So I really like the fact that they didn't lose anything about them, and just the overall quality of this figure is amazing. One second, let me turn them around. And I got everything going on currently right now. Let me pull this off because this is kind of in the way. I have everything currently on him because, one, that way you can actually see how he looks with all of his items versus seeing him without it. Tattoo is still there. His forearm guards, let me push them back quite a bit so you can see it. They have a kind of like a bluish metallic look, which you can see. Let me go ahead and lift his arm up so you can see up under it, because in this case he actually does have quite a bit of different details throughout the figure. You can see different satchels on him. There's his knife. His knife can be equipped directly onto the figure itself. A little bag here has really fine details, nice wrinkles in it. Going down. Really nice texturing in the pants. Matter of fact, let me brighten this up a tad bit for y'all. There we go. I really like this figure. Like, I must say, I was telling one of my buddies that NECA's definitely, you know, for the people that have been buying NECA for years, obviously they're gonna be like, duh, this shit is great. But NECA really, to me, is like blowing shit out the water when it comes down to how much more they're doing and adding to their figures. They're doing so much and just bringing out really great details throughout their action figures now. Really nice details on the bag, nice wrinkles, his horn. The joints is well hidden. And I love the fact that the arm pad got so much texture going on there as well. And for the most part, this definitely looks like the game. They nailed that shit. So many details throughout the figure. And I'm gonna lift the arm up 1 second so y'all can see that. So I can get it in focus for y'all. There we go. That is the full once over of good old Kratos. As for height comparison, I'll show that to you in 1 second. Height comparison against the other Kratos is pretty much the exact same size. The new Kratos is slightly bigger with height. So you can see that small little smidget of height with the skull. So you got a little bit bigger. His head is much bigger on this figure as well. The body is roughly the same, but they did give him a more human-sized head versus on the video game version of the other Kratos, his head is a little bit smaller and his body is more bulkier. So on this one has definitely a more realistic look to it, which is nice. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I will say, for that paint job between the two, they do have the slight differences, which you can see, like the red on the new Kratos is more vibrant, where the old Kratos has more like this dirty red, where his paint is on his body. Also, you can see the placement. Now, it was crazy. At first, I thought it was missing, but they did paint it differently in the prototype shots versus the new shots, which at first it didn't make any sense, but then looking back at it, it makes sense, because when you actually compare where his body part, well, not body part, organs and everything sit on the original versus the new one has more of a realistic scope, like a human scope, versus where the other one has more so, like I said, the video game scope, where certain things are inaccurate, just dealing with the human body. So if you notice on the one to the left, the original Kratos from 3, you can see that his waist is very petite, it's very small. So when you look at his tattoo is coming almost down to his waist, where on this one, his tattoo is hidden up under here, and it goes more so right on the side of him before it can even make it to the waist. And I've noticed on most people's figures that the tattoo is actually going down here. So I guess just depend on, you know, that could have been the first thought process for Neca to put his tattoo at, and they probably changed it, obviously, through development. So it's been lifting. At first I was like, man, that's kind of fucked up, because it looks better on the other one. But then when you look at where everything is placed at, his stripe going slightly where the ribs at and partially on the abs, over here is just touching the abs but still staying up under the ribs. So for the most part, it's still true to the area, but like I said, they took a more realistic approach. His abdomen is more realistic to a human being versus that one, obviously. So there's a change there. Other than that, the figures are great. So I'm gonna go ahead and move him out the way so we can go ahead and focus on the new Kratos. So as for accessories, you're gonna get this shield here, which is nicely done, nicely weathered. There we go. You can see like scales, almost looks like dragon scales, which is really, really nice. Nice little details. Flipping it over to the other side, you have this nice, strong red that's just popping off the gold. And this little tab you see that's sticking up, that's for his forearm here that has the gape right there. Now, what's nice is they went with flushing the hole out, so when you get it, you'll get this in the actual figure first. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there real quick. What I like about it is just nice and flush. So nothing is sticking out, nothing is bulging out. It looks like nothing is there and meant to come out. So once again, they hid that extremely well. They did the same thing on the other Kratos, if I'm not wrong, with his back. So you actually get that. You're going to receive his knife. So I'm going to go ahead and move that. One thing I did wish this Kratos actually had, I wish he had two set of hands, like some ball fists, and then had some open hands, or at least some different gestures of hands. He didn't get no extra hands at all, so he only has one open hand, and the other hand is just strictly a ball fist, I believe. Yep. This is the knife that you will receive. I'll move this out the way 1 second. Let's see if I can focus on it. So damn tiny. There we go. So the handle has like string or rope wrapped around it to give it grip. You can see like a nice two-tone look in the blade itself, which is like a brownish and some silver. So you get that. And like I said, that can go into this pouch here, which actually stays extremely firm. Dealing with his axe. Now his axe, when you get it, and I could be wrong on this, So I would say be careful when you do decide to pick this up. If you haven't already picked it up and just haven't opened it yet. His axe seems like it can split right here. His hand is covering the split. It looks like you're supposed to pull the axe apart and put it back together into the hand. I didn't do that. I just went ahead and pulled back the fingers and stuck the axe in there, and I kept it in there on purpose to kind of let the plastic set, so that way it'll be easier for me to put the axe in and take it out, whatever the case may be. So that way I won't be fighting with it. If you do happen to do the way I did, I would highly suggest to make sure you pull back just his 4 fingers and don't touch the thumb. The thumb is actually not a full scope where it's just one big hand. The thumb is glued onto the hand, so you end up pulling the wrong part. You might have a thumb falling off. So I would say be careful with that. Dealing with the details on the axe itself, though, is still very, very nicely done. A lot of grooves in it, gives a lot of texturing. As a matter of fact, let me bring his arm up so you can actually see for yourself. Alright, so like I said, really nice texturing going on. Nice, like it's almost like a nice ebony wood grain, reddish wood. You have the silver, you see the little jewels in there, little carvings, nicks and dents on the blade itself. Nice little design going down here. Also wraps around where the fingers are at as well. So you're going to get that. As for articulation, so it's going to be a takeaway and then improvements. So for one, dealing with Kratos has a better head movement than the Kratos that I just actually had displayed in front of you. So this Kratos can look down about that far. He can look up about that far. He can tilt his head to the side about that much and about that much. If you remember the other Kratos, he can't do none of that shit. He can turn his head and that's about it. He can look a little bit down, but practically none. And the funny part is, this Kratos actually has a smaller beard than the new Kratos, and the new Kratos actually have better articulation in the head than this one does. So they actually did a way better job on movement there. Still no neck joint, so you don't gotta worry about that. The arms is still on the hinge. They work actually surprisingly well for him to have this shoulder guard on, so no hinder there. Full 360, as you can see. You have a bicep swivel here. You have double hinge elbows here, which bend in quite a bit. Then you have a standard hinge wrist joint. You can rotate at the wrist if you like. Just be careful. The hands come off very easy, so you don't got to worry about fighting with it, so that's dope. I don't know why the hands would have to come off, because you really don't need to, but you know, the option is there. As for the other arm, how much bending this get is not hindered at all. It's actually still get the same amount of bend. His shoulder guard does not get in the way. Can he do a full 360 rotate? Yeah, but can't go directly up further as like how this arm can, because that is slightly in the way. But the cool part is that is a softer PVC, so it's not completely hindering his movement, so that's nice. What I do like as well, because obviously this is a soft PVC, is movable, so nothing is stuck in one place, like the whole entire thing moves. He doesn't have an abdomen joint, so he does lose that versus the old. But the scope work on the stomach area is just phenomenal. Like, they did a really, really good job. Further as rotate, you can do that. You can probably do a full 360. I just don't see no need to, but you definitely probably can. You can do a little bit of forward and backwards motion. Let me move the hand out the way real quick. Sorry about that. So you can move about that far back, this far forward. So it ain't too much, but he does have something going on there. Legs. Now this is weird. So I had discovered this the day I bought it, which was kind of funny to me. So he goes about that far apart on the legs, so he does have range going out to the sides. The funny part is his right leg is on a ratchet joint, his left leg is on a standard hinge, which is, I don't know what the fuck, that doesn't make any sense. But I mean, whatever reason they did this, I don't know if one leg is supposed to be more of a supporting leg versus the other, but or just a really bad like idea. Does it do anything wrong to the figure? No. It was just odd that one leg is a standard hinge and one is ratchet hinge, because you can hear it. So like if you notice with this leg, I'm gonna push it down, there's nothing. Well, on this one you can hear the ratchet piece. So I don't know why they only put it on one leg, which is, like I said, extremely odd. You can do rotation at the top of the hip, which is well hidden on the joint due to his kilt and his skirt parts from the Spartan stuff, which is actually a nice touch. I like the fact that he still have his old outfit sitting up under his new stuff. You get double hinge knees, which has a nice bend to it. You're going to get his ankle joint, really don't do much at all. It does pivot to the side, left and right, quite a bit, so you do get some nice range in there. His toe joint is much better than the old Kratos. The old Kratos toe joint sucked. It didn't really do no benefit because his toes barely came out of sandals, so it didn't really hold no balance. This actually holds a balance. So you may lost a few things that the old Kratos had, but you definitely gained a few things that the new Kratos has. So I will say, out of everything of just going over, is this figure worth it? I'm gonna absolutely say yes. It's just a great figure as a whole, and if you're a fan of any God of War stuff, then you're probably going to be even more happy with it, because I'm not a diehard fan, right? But I fucking love God of War. I'm not one of the people that just have to have everything God of War related, but I thought it was nice to actually own. And I will say, my dollar was well spent. I felt good about the spending. It didn't feel like, oh man, I bought some shitty ass figure and now I'm stuck with it. Like, this is just a really well done figure, period. So that is my review of good old Kratos. I hope this review helped. And honestly, yeah, I would say definitely pick him up. Pick up the figure. And like I said, I'll put the link below for you to check out. The store that I got it from is a small business that's starting off with selling toys. I just feel like, hey, why not help the small dude? So that's what I'm pretty much doing. The people over there are amazing, and I would definitely say have a chat with them. So other than that, y'all take care. Hope y'all enjoyed the review. Please continue and like and subscribe, and I will try to get some more reviews up. And I got link coming. Link should be here either today or tomorrow or so. Take care.